your feet, chilling at the beach. This feeling can't be beat. That's my Bahama land, yeah. Friends in every place, a smile on every face. Children at play, time with family today. Someone fill my plate, homemade bread, I can't wait. I can't get enough, I will always stay in touch with my Bahama land, yeah.
Rev Voice introduces Bahama Land, an unlimited nationwide calling plan for only $5 a month. So call home today and connect again with Bahama Land. Home never felt so close.
My Bahama land, yeah.
Hundreds unite this morning to call for capital punishment.
This is the Bahamian issue. There are people from various political parties here.
Police probe reports of alleged theft at the Prime Minister's home. The BEC deal to be finalized this month. Plus, is BTC prepared for market liberalization? Those stories and a whole lot more coming up. I'm Vonnie Toot, and NB12 Weekend starts now. Topping news tonight, more than 200 concerned citizens, including preachers, community activists, and relatives of murder victims, marched in solidarity from Golden Gates to Bay Street this morning. The nearly 7-mile march even brought together political opponents who insisted crime has gotten so bad it requires a bipartisan approach. Jasmine Bonamy was at the march from start to finish and filed this report.
The No Bail, All Bahamian Let Capital Punishment Prevail March kicked off at Super Value Golden Gates shortly after 9 this morning. The march included dozens of people carrying placards that called for an end to bail and the resumption of capital punishment. The supporters marched on foot, rode in cars, and on the backs of trucks, stretching for nearly a mile as they made their way up Blue Hill Road and onto Bay Street shortly before 11 a.m., stopping traffic and drawing the attention of curious onlookers. The march included a coalition of Bahamian leaders. The march was the brainchild of Families of All Murder Victims founder Candy Gibson and creator of Facebook's The No Spin Zone, Dr. Margot Seymour. During the march day, Gibson said there was strength in numbers, and given the high crime rate in the country, it's clear that many are hurting.
It's now or never. So much of our loved ones now are being killed, leaving innocent children behind. When you're out here today, you're not standing up for you, you're standing up and being the voice of your murdered loved one. Also, the kids are left behind that are hurting.
Also on the march were prominent businessman Rupert Roberts and activist Rodney Monker, who shared similar messages.
We have to stop this crime, not on the installment plan. We have to stop it instantly. Crime could be a lot worse than that. If we get decertified by the United States, no visitors, that's our livelihood gone instantly.
And we've come to Bay Street to say to the government, look, it's a simple matter. We can reduce the amount of murders in our society if we do two things. No bail for person charged with murder. Move the impediment that prevents the state from hanging murderers. And all they have to do is hold a little referendum, get rid of the Privy Council, and affirm constitutionally, they're the lawyers, that capital punishment by rope, by hanging.
In mid-January, it was revealed that more than 460 men are on bail for serious crimes. That fact was revealed by Prime Minister Perry Christie, who at that time underscored the government's efforts to combat crime. Prime Minister Christie said more work needs to be done to get to the root of criminal behavior. On the march this morning were representatives from several political parties who insisted crime is not a political issue, but one that must be addressed by everyone. Those politicians, including DNA leader Branville McCartney and the FNM's Dr. Dwayne Sands, both said politics must be pushed aside in favor of a unified approach to crime.
The criminal element must understand as well that we're not going to take it. At least the people of the Bahamas are going to take it. And we're going to force the government of this country to ensure that they do their fundamental duty and protect its citizens. That's their fundamental duty.
Bahamians are fed up with what is happening in our country. The carnage is unacceptable. And so this march is basically concerned Bahamians sending a loud but very clear message that, look, we will not take it anymore.
During today's march, the group also circulated a petition and collected dozens of signatures. Its leaders plan on presenting that petition to the government in the next few weeks. Reporting for NB12 Weekend, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
Acting Commissioner of Police Quinn McCartney has revealed that a police officer questioned in connection with the reported theft of a television from Prime Minister Perry Christie's home has been given days off, pending the outcome of an investigation. McCartney says police received a report on Tuesday that a television was missing from Christie's West Bay Street home. Christie was out of the country at the time, attending the second summit of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States in Havana, Cuba. McCartney says he expects a final decision to be made in reference to that incident early next week. Members of the Rastafarian community have also expressed concern about this country's crime problem. House of Rastafari member Ian Morris says while everyone scrambles for solutions, the Rastafarian community is often overlooked. However, he says they should be consulted on crime-fighting strategies.
I can tell you, we feel the same pain, and we feel it even more, because every time a brother gets killed, that's our African brothers getting killed.
The House of Rastafari represents 7 Rastafarian communities in the Bahamas. Its aim is to voice members' concerns and gain rights for the Rastafarian community. While members offered their own suggestions, they insisted no one person or group has all the answers. They added it will take a team effort to change a festering issue that cannot be solved overnight.
Society wants to look at the brother behind the gun and say that he's at fault and fix him. We, the Rastafari community, is saying he is the end product of something, and so therefore we have to look at the entire situation.
It's where we make minor steps to accomplish major steps. We all as Bahamians have our contribution to the society, and while we all work towards achieving this peace in our communities, join with those of different faiths. I'm asking that we join with those of different ethnic group and all, just to accomplish this goal.
Chairman of the House of Rastafari, Priest Philip Blyden, says in recent months they've been in talks with officials from Urban Renewal 2.0. He adds they plan to form a coalition with other groups later this month.
We are calling a peace rally next month, sometime in the second week of next month, and we would appeal to the public to form a coalition along with the House of Rastafari and the various facets of the House of Rastafari, right? Because not one group has the solution, but if we come together and we don't exclude anyone, I think that we could come up with a positive solution towards trying to reorientate people forward to our core values.
And Cabinet will review suggestions made by Court of Appeal President Anita Allen, who recently urged the government to amend the law which outlines mandatory minimum sentences in certain cases. Minister of State for Legal Affairs Damian Gomez said he agrees with Allen, adding the issue will be discussed in Cabinet and given consideration. On Thursday, Allen indicated that many of the cases involving mandatory minimum sentences have been subject to appeals and have essentially wasted the court's time, while Gomez says her comments merely vindicate a position he's held for years. Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis says government expects to finalize the Bahamas Electricity Corporation restructuring deal by mid-February. The deal was initially expected to be completed at the end of January. However, Davis, who is the minister responsible for BEC, says he is satisfied with the progress made to date. The bidding process, which will lead to the overhaul of the energy sector, is being managed by KPMG Bahamas. Davis told NB12 the 5 companies that remain in the running made their final submissions to support their bids and pricing proposals this week.
After questions are in, we'll assess the answers to the questions, and then we will decide whether we want to have a face-to-face with any one of them or all of them, and thereafter within the next 2 weeks we should be in a position to be more definitive as to where we are in the process insofar as the selection of a preferred bidder.
Government is looking for private companies to offer power generation in the Bahamas and gain a management contract to take over transmission, distribution, and customer billing. Last year, Davis told NB12 no Bahamian bidders were involved in the process. However, he said the shortlisted companies are interested in including Bahamians in an equity and ownership arrangement. Still to come on NB12 Weekend, BTC said to be well positioned for liberalization of the telecom sector. Find out more after this break.